Yo, guys, what is going on? I just finished watching the Book of Boba Fett, episode 7, and I have to say, the writers really dropped the ball on this one. I don't know if maybe the writers were Jar Jar Bink or something, but geez, they clutched. They messed it up. They had something good going, then they screwed it up. Uh, and why do I say that? Let's see. This undoes everything that they were going to do better. This undoes everything that the Mandalorian, the show itself, was going to evolve to be better than what we were getting in season 1 and season 2. Um, Episode 6 and 5 of Book of Boba Fett really set up the way of how these characters can potentially go forward. Or Mando and Grogu. We really get to see, the potential of how far these characters can really go now. Now that they're far away from each other, or now that they're apart, and we really get to see the potential. We get to see them maybe flourish and become their own different people, grow for a little while. But now that's ruined, and it's very sad, because now we won't. Because if you guys don't know, they're back. They're back together, and so it ruins a lot. It ruins a lot of what was set up in episode 6. By the way, guys, if I pause a little bit sometimes, I have COVID right now, and so I just really need to put this episode or this video out here because I need to gauge your guys' reaction too. I want to know your guys' reaction to episode 7, chapter 7 of Book of Boba Fett. Be putting down in the comments. I got the comments pulled up, so I want to hear your reaction to it. I want to hear what you thought about it. All of it. I want to know. Yeah, it was bad. I just okay. So if we're gonna go into it, let's go. Let's go into the betrayal of Cad Bane's character. Cad Bane, when he showed up in episode 6, I was like hyped. I was like, okay, now they're really putting up the potential here. Now shit is gonna start getting off. I'm hoping that he survives because I want more of him. Just him as a character in this world after the Empire and everything, and after all that, like, it's gonna set up so much more for the future of what both shows potentially. Because he's an adversary that always comes back, and now he's killed off just very simply, very easily, and it feels very robbing, too, because it's just like, he taught Boba, so I mean, you'd think that he would know how to handle himself against Boba, but he just, I don't know. I don't know what they were going for there. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to set it up to make it seem like he's underestimating Boba, but at the same time, Boba isn't really much anything. He's still soft. He's still the soft piece of shit. Boba, I don't mean to disrespect Boba Fett's character. I mean, I love Boba Fett. Don't get me wrong. I do. Tamora Morrison does a freaking amazing job, and I'm honestly saddened by the fact that he has to go through so much of this crap. And pretty much episodes 6 and 5, like, I bet he had to sit there and just be like, wow, like, nobody's, like, this is a Book of Boba Fett episode, and just, like, nobody's talking about Boba Fett. And it's just like, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, I bet he doesn't even like what the Disney writers are doing for his character, because he's still not fixed. We thought he was going to be fixed and be like a badass and stuff in episode 7, but he's not. Like, he's still taking orders from Fennec Shand, and like, Fennec Shand is the one that's really calling the shots here. Like, you can tell. Like, at this point, you can just tell, like, Fennec Shand is really the one who's kind of still in control and still in command, and like, Boba Fett still, the only reason why anyone shows Boba Fett respect which is it's surprising to me that he's even getting respect, is because because he saved Mos Espa or whatever, you know, like he saved Moff Isley or whatever the freaking place. He saved the town, okay? He saved the town, but at the same time, like he didn't though. At the same time, he didn't like do anything. Like the town was still being shot up, and he's still focusing on these little mini dudes, and he's not even going after the big dude like Fennec Shand is. Fennec Shand should have been the one to hang back with Mando and help Mando, you know, with the like the little ads and like the small little guys, you know? Like he should have been the one going after Cad Bane and the Pike Syndicate, considering that Boba Fett was the one who's had the most experience against them. Like he's worked for the Pike Syndicate before. I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure, and I know for sure he's worked with Boba Fett or with Cad Bane. Cad Bane, like they have history, bro. Like so, it just feels like he should be the one going out there doing that. But Fennec Shand is, and so again, you just it robs it robs a moment from Boba when Fennec Shand at the end, you know, like I thought Boba was the one finally getting revenge back on the Pikes when he was when like the Pikes were like suddenly dying and they're like being taken out one by one and all that, and I was just like, oh shit, here comes Boba. That's the Boba I know. That's the Boba I know. He's going off. And then next thing you know, it's they show it's Fennec Shand, and I'm like, bruh, bro, bro, you're telling me that Boba's the one? Boba's not doing this? Like the Pike Syndicate literally killed his Tusken family, and he's being a pushover, letting Fennec Shand handle it, and I'm just like, God, stupid. And there was one part with the mod. There was a part. Okay, I have to throw this in there because there was a part with the mods. The mods are so retarded. I hate the mods. I hate them. I'm sorry for any person who likes the mods in this stupid freaking Book of Boba Fett thing. Like, I don't know what is wrong with you. I can't understand. Like, but the mods are terrible, and so there is this funny thing that this one of the stupid mods did. Uh, you know the Wookiee guy, right? The Wookiee that's like part of their group or something. He's like about to get shot, and so like this mod does like some weird twirl flash looking thing just to shoot one guy, and I'm just like, what? Why? You didn't need to do any of that. So like they come to save the Wookiee, he has them like he's like holding him in the shoulder, and then he does like some flashy spin move to take out one dude. I'm just like, dude, you just need to move your pistol up. That's it. Like, what are you doing? Stop. I'm just like, it's so dumb. It's so stupid. Stop with the flashy stupid bullshit, man. I can't. I can't. I couldn't take it seriously, guys. I can't. Not with something that's stupid. Let's see what other people are saying. Let's go to Instagram, or let's go to yeah, let's go to Instagram. Let's see what people are saying about the Book of Boba Fett. So here we go. We got some people saying that like the some people are saying they're very split on it. That some people are saying it's a good ending. Oof. Yeah, no, buddy. No. No, 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 no. Not a good ending. In fact, ruins a lot of what it was trying to set up with the previous shows, and the potential, like the grand scope of everything is just now destroyed. Now with this episode alone, all destroyed, all gone, everything. It's like Thanos snapped. Every potential timeline that we could have in our heads of where these shows can go from now on has been snapped just like that in one bad episode. I'll tell you that right now. Um, there was too much action for me. I felt like it was a little bit too much overthrown action. But then again, some people say that the last episode didn't have enough action in it, that it was more slow paced. And I was like, I'm okay with that. You know, I can watch Grogu and Luke train forever. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't care if you have a problem with it, but I can watch an entire show of Luke just training Grogu because it is amazing. And I like seeing Luke train people. Um, or at least train Grogu. Yeah, Mandalorian has been set up for failure now. I don't really believe that it's going to go towards a better place or going towards something better. I feel like now Mando is set up and doomed. He is doomed. It is doomed to fail because Mando is no longer going to be able to really explore and do things by himself, and it is sad. It sucks. I wanted it to be something better. I wanted there to be something better, but I just don't think that they're going to do now. There's just no way that they can make anything better out of it now. And I don't know how I feel about that. And I'm scared to see now where Star Wars is going to go now. Um, let's see. What else happened in the episode? Um, there was like those big destroyer droids from like kind of like from like the old days too. Um, but it was like giant ones too, like giant destroyer droid kind of looking things with like bubble shields and stuff. And I was just like, okay, wait, but the Republic has like always like been able to take out these guys, and like even Cad Bane, like he would know what to do, and like Boba seems like he would know what to do because it makes sense, you know, like the destroyer droids were like very simple to take out. Everybody kind of knew the tactic, especially because there's an episode in the Clone Wars where everybody kind of understood the tactic of how to take out the destroyer droids. You don't shoot them, you don't blast them. Um, you like roll a grenade slowly, slow enough for it so the shield can be able to not detect the grenade going in and blow them up. But I guess that wasn't enough. And so, I mean, I was maybe expecting to see that, like, you know, Mando and Boba would get like some bombs and maybe like lead the droids there and then allow the droids to be blown up from inside out of their shields. But no, they went with the Rancor route, which is fine, but a little bit too much in my opinion. Um, it was just too much, and I feel like the threat still wasn't big enough for that. Like in my opinion, the two little destroyer droids as a threat level, I feel like they could have handled it without a Rancor. That, that's kind of how I feel. Like the Rancor was just kind of there to steal the show, be the spotlight, but I didn't really feel like there was a need for it, you know? Like I felt like that was something that they could have saved for the next season if there was going to be a next season, or something where like there was actually going to be like a big battle between multiple different people. Like I would have liked to see the Rancor like used more on like the people and the humans, or like whatever, the pikes or whatever. But it was used mainly on the destroyer droids, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like now, this feels like King Kong or some kind of bull crap. I'm just like, I don't know. It hit with me the same. All I know for sure is that this episode definitely sets up Mandalorian for failure. Right off the gate, just poor, poor Grogu never really gets to learn now. Never really gets to become more than what he was, because now he's forced to be back with Mando, and Mando doesn't really get to explore and see where he gets to go to and his path, his journey. It just wasn't enough time away from each other. They should have put more time into allowing these two characters to grow, at least until episode 2 or 3 of Mandalorian. That's when they should have came back, because while it's great that they're back together, but at the same time, like, they haven't learned anything yet. They haven't learned, they haven't gauged, they haven't grown, they haven't changed since they've seen each other, and there's nothing to indicate that gap. Like, Grogu's still acting the same exact way he did. Like, even towards the end of the episode there, he does the exact same thing that he's done before. It's not like he's not controlled a beast and calmed them down. He did that with one of the mud things. Like one of the near first episodes of like season 1. And so, like, that's nothing new. So, I mean, I don't know. I I don't know. I just I feel like they're setting it up for failure, because now both of them don't get enough time, and we don't get enough time to really gauge with. Like, sure, it felt to the viewers like it's been a long time, but that's because it's just been a long time without Mandalorian, like, without a show to keep following it up with those. But back with episode 6, I was okay watching Grogu and Mando in two separate sides. Like two stories kind of going along the same path, but we would kind of jump back and forth from each other. Kind of like a little tennis match. Just like a little bit of the episode here, a little bit of the episode there. And I like that. And so then now we don't really get to see that anymore. Now that Grogu's back, and we're not going to see them grow. We're not going to see them become their own characters. We're not going to see them do things on their own actively throughout the galaxy without needing this dependency on each other, this codependency that is going to make them not be able to accomplish any of their goals. And quite frankly, what are their goals now? At the end of the episode, we see them fly off in the Naboo ship, and where are they going? What is Mando's objective now? He's got Grogu back, but what is he doing now? What does he want? He has the dark saber, but at the same time, does he even want it? Because I haven't seen him try to go back and show any kind of motivation to see whether he wants that kind of responsibility. And if he doesn't, maybe he should give it to somebody who does want it. Because at the same time, it just seems like he just wants to be with Grogu. And we're not seeing really much of a pull there to see him want to pick up that responsibility that comes with the blade. And he's just kind of keeping on it and keep holding on to it, but he's not really doing anything. So what would have been really cool to see, if, in my mind, in my headcanon, they're still separate. In my headcanon, or in my mind, this is the way how I would have pictured it and how I would have written it. They would have stayed separate. Grogu would have chosen to stay with Luke still. And, throughout the season, maybe episode 1, we would catch right back up with Mando. And episode 1 would be focused mainly on Mando and his adventures going back through Mandalore. He would go back to Mandalore. He would maybe even see Bo-Katan, maybe even see Sabine, maybe even see the Armorer. Maybe the Armorer like comes back to Mandalore, and Mandalore is like divided by all the survivors, and even Din is trying to find whether or not he is able to bring these two together, to rejoin Mandalore together and make it, forge it to one whole, you know, clan where it's just, there's no sides, there's no Vizsla, no nothing, that they're all just Mandalorians. And I would have liked to seen him go through the conflict of, maybe even figuring out what he wants from it. What does he think that the Mandalorian creed should be updated to? Because if you're not allowed to take off your helmet, and if you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, and they're on both sides, there's so many strict, stupid rules. I would think Din would be just like, okay, look, I'm gonna be kind of the middle ground here and be like, look, this is stupid and ridiculous. We're Mandalorians and we're running out of people. All right, the most thing we need to focus on is just trying to get back. We should just try to get back and be a force in the galaxy again, because look, like, it doesn't matter whether you wear a helmet. It doesn't matter whether you want to keep your helmet. It doesn't matter about a religion or whatever. At the end of the day, you're almost extinct. What else? What does it matter? Like, it's trying to bring these two groups of people together that are already having conflict within each other, and I feel like Din Djarin is the perfect character for that. But now that moment is lost to us. Now that Grogu is back, because it's hard to do that stuff with having to coddle a little kid and carry a little kid around and protect him all the time. Even if he is wearing the Mandalorian chainmail, I still feel like it's a lot to do. Chainmail in the end of the day is not armor, so, or not like full armor. So like, he's still gonna get, like, he could still get headshot, still get his arms cut off. So I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really think that really made much of a difference. But yeah, like, how is Mando going to do that? How is Mando going to unify or do anything that he was going to be, like, sure, he might not want the responsibility, but how are we going to gauge that if he's got the little kid around all the time? He's not going to be focused on that. That's the reason why we needed them apart. We needed Grogu and Mando apart to know their motivations for later on, and to gauge, where they're going to be. What are their motivations? Because right now they don't have any. We knew what Grogu's motivations were going to be when he was with Luke. He was going to learn how to use the Force, learn to protect himself at least, and now we don't even get to see that. We can see him jump around and do mainly some of the stuff that we've seen him do before. The only thing is, he's still falling asleep the same exact way, like how he does, like straining himself and then falling asleep. Like, he uses the Force and then falls asleep. I was hoping to see a little bit more, maybe Luke even training him not to fall asleep every single time he uses the Force too much or something. But nope, that just turned out the same way. Because again, they didn't allow enough time. They didn't give enough time. They just wanted to be right back to Mando and the baby, and so it's just like, it's like these two characters can't live without each other. They're so codependent and hooked into each other. It's just like, and the sad thing is, the writers don't even see it, that they don't need these two characters hooked into each other like that, so synced in to make a great show. They could write it very well and do it very well for season 3. And hell, Grogu doesn't even have to show up to the last episode and it would still be freaking good, because we would see so much more motivations and something so different. But now we're going to see the same thing again. I have a feeling we're going to see the same exact thing again, and we're going to see more wandering around, more filler out of season 3 of Mandalorian, because there's just not much new to go off of. Like, unless Mando goes and gives back Grogu to Luke, like, what are they really going to do? Like, even Mando doesn't even know what he wants to do. And that's the thing. He can't explore those options with Grogu being there because he has to protect Grogu. And so that was the whole point of season 2, trying to get rid of Grogu for to see like for Grogu can learn and become better and become his own person and evolve a little bit better. But not only that, Din Djarin himself, like, we don't really know what his motivations are anymore. We don't really even know what he's trying to do. He's just doing more or less the same. And, now he has such a big responsibility, but it's not like he's engaging with it. And I kind of wanted to see that happen. I wanted to see him gauge with that responsibility. He has the dark saber, you know, he has the choice and is able to reclaim Mandalore and build something better with it. But now he's not even going to be able to gauge that. And so I don't know. I don't know. This episode was a mess. Honestly, it was. It had its Disney fingers in it too. I felt it. When Mickey Mouse's fingers are just sticking its fingers wherever it is. It's like the puppet strings. It's like pulling all the strings and pulling all the scenes. I'm just like, yo, come on, man, come on, don't be stupid. Um, like all the parts with the mods, I hated it. I hated the parts with the mods. Any kind of dialogue from the mods, I just hate it. I did not like the mods whatsoever in the Book of Boba Fett, and I didn't like them at the end here either. Yeah, I felt like all of them should have died, or at least 30%, or at least 20%. Maybe even half of them should have died, bro, because they were doing some stupid decisions, like just standing there behind one parked vehicle and just shooting. And I'm just like, bro, you're telling me that none of these people can fire one shot and kill these mods? Like, what? And they're like waving around little small pistols. It's stupid. It's just like, what kind of, like, they're being surrounded and somehow they're surviving just being shot from every direction, even though they're just hiding behind one speeder. And then Fennec Shand comes in and saves the day for them. Fennec Shand, bro, I'm starting to think this is Fennec Shand's show, bro. Cause seriously, she's a baller out here just doing everything when it should be Boba. Boba should have been the one to kill the people at the end. He should have been the one to kill the Pikes, man. He should have. He should have been the one to kill the Pikes. And so now Boba's robbed from that opportunity. Boba doesn't really do anything but just roll over, bro. He just rolls over. He's like a good little dog now at this point. I'm gonna I'm gonna make a meme. I'm gonna make a gif of just Boba being a dog and Fennec Shand being like, good boy, stay. I'm gonna make that meme. I'm gonna make that meme alive, guys. Because that's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's sad. But it's true. Like, I especially saw it in this episode too. Again, I'm just like, oh my god, yo, he really is just soft, dude. Like, Fennec Shand is really the one holding everything. Because Boba, like, gets apparently emotional. And, like, he's about to, like, stand off with Cad Bane. And Fennec Shand is just like, no, not here. You shouldn't do it. Don't do it. And then he's like, okay, I won't do it. I'm just like, bruh. Come on, bro. I would have actually liked to see Boba Fett and Cad Bane, like, go off screen. Like, they're just fighting each other. And Mando is just kind of there, just kind of helping the other, like, people around. Like, he's just there kind of like shooting and tooting, just like helping the people. And then Cad Bane and Boba are kind of having like a one-on-one fight. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat style. Like, that's kind of how I imagined it in my mind. Like, that's what I would have imagined in my mind. Like, they're just kind of like, up in each other's faces, like really getting up and close, doing like using all their tricks, all the tricks and gadgets in the book, try to really nail it. But at the same time, you can actually see them kind of like feeling like they're pulling back punches because they still have like that history with each other, or at least with Cad Bane. Like I would have really liked to see that, you know. From a writing standpoint, I feel like that would have been really cool because, you know, Cad Bane, he did teach Boba, and you know, even though their interaction before ended up with both of them shooting each other, um, they did have a falling out. You know, I would assume that you would still have some kind of connection to the kid that you mentored. You know, especially because you mentored the kid because his father mentored you. You know, so you would probably hold back a little because you don't want to have to kill your mentor's kid, especially when you mentored him too. You know, like you don't want to have to do this. I mean, you will if you have to. I mean, Cad Bane will if he has to. But at the same time, like I wanted to see him kind of pull back and pull punches, you know. But like you didn't really see that either because you know they didn't really fight really like most of the time. It was just like very quick. It was all of a sudden and then ended very fast, and it was just it was very lackluster. And the way how it ended, it just left me just like wow. Okay, well that's pretty empty feeling. Thanks. Thanks, Disney. Um, yeah, just Mandalorian is set up for failure. So prepare for that, guys. Prepare for Mandalorian just not being as good. Mandalorian season 3, I'm calling it right now. It's going to be more of the same. Mandalorian season 3, more of the same. Um, it's just going to be them wandering around, doing nothing, not really knowing what to do. Either that, or they're gonna retread the same ground and try to get him back to Luke. But Luke probably moved on because he's just tired of this shit. Like, they're like, how much can Luke handle their codependency? You know, I would have really liked to see a scene with Luke. You know, in my mind, with Mandalorian season 3, like maybe halfway through the show, or something, or like maybe even the second, or like maybe the third episode, Mando's struggling to try to keep Mandalore in balance, or try to keep the Mandalorians like having his faith in him, you know? And so he goes and he wants to go and visit Grogu. Sorry about that. Um but yeah, like I wanted to see him try to keep the faith of the Mandalorian people, you know? They're trying to like he's trying to keep their faith that he should be the one of to rule Mandalore, but they're having a hard time doing that because he still can't even be able to use the sword properly. And so I wanted him to go to um, Luke again, and that's when we would see that Grogu is still learning, and maybe he's progressed a little bit farther. We've seen him now, like he's now using a lightsaber by that point, using Yoda's lightsaber. Um, and we're gonna see him kind of interact with Luke. Din at least interact with Luke, and Luke is gonna be able to sense that they. This time that Ahsoka is not gonna be there as a buffer. In my mind, I see like Luke is gonna have a little bit more time to talk with Din, and he's not gonna be kind of an asshole about it because in my opinion, the way how they're using Luke, like, I mean, why isn't Luke more curious? Why isn't Luke trying to talk with people? Like, why is he being a grunchy little munchie, just being like off and off, always trying to hang out with kids by himself? That seems kind of pervertish. Just saying, you know, like Luke over here, he wants to have his kids go to a Jedi temple and train them how to use lightsabers and just like away from everyone. It's just okay, Luke, what's going on in your mind, bro? Somebody should flag that. Somebody should flag that starfighter, bro. If you see it, run. Save your kids. Don't let him go with the little guy that wants. Don't let him go with the guy that that wants to teach him how to use a lightsaber. I mean, what do you even say to Luke when you see him? Like when he comes by and he's like, I I know that your kid is force sensitive, and I want to teach him the ways of the force. And he just comes in a giant like a giant freaking X-wing. He just shows up. He's just like, hey kid, you want to learn how to use a lightsaber and use the force? And it's just like, it's also one of those things again where it's just like, it's like, what? What? What parent says yes to that? What parent says yes? I don't know. And it's just kind of funny to me. But it is kind of funny because Luke doesn't really open or keep open communications or tabs with people, and that's kind of just what I would think or what I would expect. I would feel like that Luke would be different in the way how he's teaching uh, the Force and at least handling the situation. I feel like he would be allowing attachments at least because he allowed attachments. He had attachments with him and his sister Han Solo and them. So the problem wasn't really attachment. The problem was the way how the Jedi Order handled attachments, and where it was just like no attachments and telling them that their emotions and to suppress them, and it was bad what they were doing. But Luke could do it better. Luke could make it where they could express themselves and be better, so the same thing doesn't happen again. Um, the way again how they're handling Luke's character, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that again all the potential stuff could have been better, but this episode really fucked things up in my opinion. It really did. We could have seen so much more of that and really gauge more of that. But now we don't. We don't get to see any of that, and we don't get to see Grogu progress. We don't get to see him progress as a character at all. He's going to be the same exact character that we're going to see in Mandalorian season 3. We're going to see him wandering around, not really doing much, and being the person that Mando has to save and has to come in for the rescue, or has to stop him from doing something that he's going to get himself into trouble with. And it's just more and more of the same. And I mean, hell, I wish that we could have at least stuck around with Luke a little bit longer, at least to get Grogu talking or at least saying the first word or something. I don't know, but either way, what do you guys think? Let me know, because honestly, I really didn't like this episode. I thought that this episode is going to ruin the future of at least the Mandalorian show. It ruins a lot of the potential future. Like now, the butterfly effect has taken place with this episode. Now that Grogu and Mando are back together, the butterfly path where Grogu could have learned and become a little bit better before he came back, and where Mando could have learned and come back, so that way when they both come back to each other, they both have motivations and something to gauge with, that they've had some time apart and really have learned something. Now that's gone. That's all shut down because it is too soon. It's too soon. Whatever anybody says, it is too soon that they're together again. And like, it's way too quick. And so now nothing feels like there's really a time gauge to really feel like there actually has been a long time with them apart. But yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys' thing. Honestly, I didn't like the episode. I didn't like the episode at all. I think the episode it's good if you like action. It's good if you like an action ending. But honestly, I'm not a Transformers fan. I'm not a fan of all that like crazy rucking giant crazy explosion shit. Literally, that's what it felt most of the episode. Just explosions and all that, and then you had the Rancor, and then it's just like I don't really care. Okay, I didn't come here for this. I came here to see the interactions between the characters and all that. So that's what I wanted to focus on. But y'all wanted to focus on the big, huge bang moments, and like there's stuff and there's room for that, but it was too much in this episode, and quite frankly, the tactics and the way how they strategized their plan also just wasn't really good, honestly. But I'll hop onto that in another episode. Like the strategy they had was stupid, and I honestly didn't even understand what the Pike Syndicate was really trying to achieve here. Like, were they just trying to show themselves as a threat, trying to get Boba Fett to surrender? How are they trying to do that? I didn't understand the strategy from Boba Fett's perspective either. Like, what? Like, spread his forces throughout Tatooine or something? I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there, because then it just only set him up for failure. Because then when everybody started attacking him, he had like only him and Mando. I'm just like, and then Fennec had to go save everybody else's ass. I'm just like, it's bad. But we'll hop on that in another video. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys say. Because honestly, I didn't like this episode, and I feel like it's gonna do a terrible for the next season of Mandalorian. Let me know also about that. Let me know what you guys think. How does this affect Mando? Now that he's going to be, back with Grogu so damn early. What do you guys think of that? Do you think it's not too soon? Do you think it's too soon that they're together? Do you think that the potential of them being apart just a little bit, even if it was just 2 more episodes, it probably would have made Mando even better, the Mandalorian series even better? Because now think about it, they're going off into the sunset, but we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what their plans are. We don't have any kind of indication of any kind of motivations that they're trying to do something with their lives. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear it. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye, guys.